Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next one comes from the Hand of Lenin. And it's quite a long one, and it's in response to: is the AudioStation considered live consideration for live VST playing? A video I did in September 2019, and this is quite a long one, so I might have to sort of spend more time looking down than looking up. I've had an AudioStation Mini for over 2 years. I have to say, at first, for its price, I'd wish I'd got a high-spec laptop. However, over the years, I've got used to it and the way it works. Not sure I'd trust a laptop running 5 or 6 VSTs in a live situation, but the Mini I would. Yet there is also its problem because of at this price you want it to be a studio PC, which I can do real power work live. The other problem is the AudioStation is, if you have any other music gear or software, that it likes its own driver. The AudioStation does not like it. Certainly wants to be the boss of audio. One thing to consider is thinking of buying not easy to upgrade sound card, memory or processor at a latter stage. Upgrades to Windows 10 are now available for those like me that have an older unit at cost. The upgrade also updates the internal mixer, adds a number of new features. The upgrade comes with a genuine Windows 10 license, which you are paying for. Does mean that nearly every VST will work. Ableton 11 will now work in desktop mode. I agree, Seelake are very poor at media. They do not actively market the product. They don't really email you. I had to ask them if there was going to be an upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10. Just happened they had just finished working on it. They very rarely put out news, although it is clear they're still working on software upgrades and selling units. However, it has been, now with Windows 10, even though Windows 11 has just been released, it should be give the product another 4 or 5 years. Just before I go into my normal response on this, even though Windows 11 has been released, a lot of existing hardware cannot load Windows 7. Okay, and that's because of the new security features that are built into Windows 11. The hardware does not have the relevant security chip or security mechanism in the hardware. Some hardware that's been you've bought in the last couple of years may have it, but anything that's a little bit older is guaranteed not to have it. So even though your machine will merrily run Windows 10, it will not run Windows 11. So just beware of that. Company I'm working for at the moment are starting that process of Windows 11 adoption, because obviously Windows 10 will start to be taken out of the market, and they're looking at a very, very big bill to take on Windows 11, in terms of they're going to basically go for every Windows 11 machine they put out, it's a new piece of hardware. So anyway, we shall see with that. My response to the Hand of Lenin was, and it's really interesting actually, that I've actually found somebody who's responded who has one of these devices. I've been trying to find somebody who can effectively give me some insight on the Seelake system. Seelake have been very helpful when I've posed comments to them or asked them questions, but reality is, they're not very good at social media, and I don't know whether it's because it's an English-Italian thing, because Seelake is an Italian company, or whether it's just that they're a bunch of techno geeks who haven't really got a marketing department. I mean, I suspect that's probably more what it is. And I do apologise for calling you techno geeks, by the way, Seelake. But you seem to be very good at the engineering stuff, but not really great at communication. And of course the Seelake is kind of what I saw as a natural successor to this thing I've got on the bench here behind me. But thank you for providing some real world AudioStation mini feedback. I can see the power of these devices. I really can. If I was gigging, something like the Seelake Audio, I think would probably provide me with a lot of comfort in terms of being able to set my environment up. Turn up, plug the Seelake in, load the patch environment up, and boom, you're good to go. But I think Muse has damaged this market in the way that Muse failed. And many people comment about this. I mean, I do think that this unit that I've got sitting behind me at the moment, and I'm kind of slowly getting into, is incredibly powerful. So if you even in the studio, it's incredibly powerful. But if you think about, you can load all your stuff up and go on the road with it, and it's got numerous outputs on the back. It's got a digital output. It's got other stuff going on with it. I do see this. It was an incredibly powerful and really great idea, apart from the fact it failed. And last year I could find no reference for the Seelake Audio, whether it will actually work on Windows 10, because the machine was still Windows 7 at that point. But I did email them and I asked them about Windows 10, and they came back to me within about 2 days and said, look, we're working on a Windows 10 version. Bear with us, we should be able to release news fairly shortly. And then a few days after that, they actually emailed me and said they had a version that had gone through beta and they were happy that they were going to be able to start selling that within X number of months. And obviously giving it away, or I don't know how they did the cost model for upgrades, but being able to, people who were on the Windows 7 hardware could actually upgrade to Windows 10. But I have to say, they really made Windows 7 work for them, because they waited almost until Windows 7 went end of life, or it had gone end of life, before the Windows 10 version came out. Now we're getting the Windows 10 version, if you think about it, and the Windows 11 version, or Windows 11 is now out or coming out, if you like, depending on which way you look at it. But Windows 11 is now there. So for all these people who have got just looking at Windows 10, yes, it's going to give you 4 or 5 years, but Seelake really need to be up in their game and saying, we've now got all the new hardware that comes out is Windows 11. Now, maybe the reason why they haven't gone straight to Windows 11 is because what I just said at the top of this piece, which is that Windows 11 has a certain security profile that requires certain hardware to be in place. And I suspect that particular hardware is not in the current Seelake hardware proposition. I mean, at the end of the day, these things, as the Seelake thing is, are computers that have been specifically engineered for VST effects, routing, mixing capabilities. All the other Windows pleasantries has been stripped out of these machines to make them work properly from a Windows perspective, because the advantage that Seelake has over this is Linux, incredibly efficient in the way it works, because that's what Linux does. But in order to make it work on Windows, you've got to strip out all the stuff that Windows wants to put into Windows before you can make it work. So thank you very much for giving me some real world experience of the AudioStation Mini. I still stand by my statement. I think it's a cracking solution, and I wish AudioStation would just pull their finger out and do a lot more marketing and get it a lot more visible in the market space.